Right, we are getting started. Hey, you guys, I want to thank you so much for showing on up and learning about the tools that are going to be able to help you as you run an online tutoring business. So, lots of cool things are out there and available for us, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, if you like this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell so that you can always stay up to date on when we are having these kinds of calls. All right, so today I asked Ann Mitchell to come and join me. Ann Mitchell has been in our community like forever. She has she's been part of the reading interventionist course that I taught, and she has just been killing it inside of with her reading business. In fact, you guys, she is almost booked solid, which is really, really cool. And I'm so excited to support her because when she started with us, she was just mentioning this yesterday, when she joined us, she didn't have any students. So she's gone from 0 students to now almost being fully booked solid. So congratulations, Anne. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
You're in Castle Rock, right?
Castle Rock, Colorado. That's correct.
Awesome. And you've got, how many grandkids do you have?
I have one right now. He's going to be 4 pretty soon.
Oh. And you have six kids?
No, I only have 4.
Just multiplied. But you have twins.
Yes. I had 2, my older 2, a boy and a girl, and you think that's perfect. Well, a year or so down the road, oops, we doubled our pleasure.
Oh, wow.
So then we ended up with the twins. The 2 younger ones are twins.
Oh my gosh. That's really incredible. That's awesome.
Not young anymore.
What's that?
They're not young anymore.
No, they're not. No, they're not. And so now you can have a little bit of time with being able to build your business and being able to get clients. So what tools do you use as you're running your business? Like some people use, Zoom, Skype, Google Hangouts. What do you feel is the best tool for you for running, working with your online tutoring students?
Currently, I'm using Zoom because it has a screen share. Has the whiteboard available, and then you are able to give the kids the ability to write on the screen or type on the screen. So I thought that's pretty cool.
I like that feature a lot as well. I've played with all 3 systems. So I played with Skype in the beginning. In fact, I was the Skype reading tutor, and I liked that because I could share my screen and the kids could just read what was on my screen. And then I had people saying, Google Hangouts was like the new thing. And so I was like, well, I'll try it. I tried it, but it was kind of glitchy for some people. It would like shut down on them or not work on the iPad. So I just continued to work with Skype. And then I finally moved on over to Zoom, and I have not left them at all because there's so many awesome features just inside of Zoom alone. So you had mentioned the feature where the kids can write on the screen. Any other features that you particularly like that you use with Zoom?
Well, you share the sound, and you can, if you have more than one student, you're able to bring them in as well. So it's open to however many you want to, if you want a small group or just one-on-one. The free Zoom only is available for 40 minutes. So the paid one is available for however long you want your sessions. So I went with the paid version.
Yeah, I did too, because I really like even if, let's say, you do want to do like larger groups, then you can do breakout sessions and you can split them up into groups, and I really like that ability too.
That would be fun for older kids, high school and college,
Yeah, absolutely. We could stay a little bit more focused, right?
Maybe.
Maybe, you never know. So if you guys are watching this right now, what do you use to tutor? Type it inside of the chat. Do you use Zoom? Do you use Skype? Do you use Google Hangouts? We'd love to hear what your favorite tool is for tutoring online. But lots of tools work. So, that's the cool thing. I like the ability on Zoom that I can take, I can even give them control of my computer.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool because there's times where it's like, I don't want to click the button all the time. Like I want them taking the action and doing what they need to do. And so I can just give them control when they do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. And then we've got 3D math tutoring. She uses Zoom and BitPaper. Do you use BitPaper at all, Anne?
No, I don't. But I know in our group there's several people that use it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially the math tutors use it more than I think the reading.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Rachel here meant to write Zoom, not Zoo. I'm sure she uses Zoom and not Zoo. Unless Zoo is a new one. Yes, it's Zoom. Which sometimes it can feel like a zoo.
Yes.
Ba-dum-bump.
Okay. Put my head on.
Nice. I love it. Now, Dana also mentioned that she uses PowerPoint. I love using PowerPoint. That's one of my favorite tools because I can create the materials ahead of time, share my screen, and just go with it. And I can reuse the same PowerPoints over and over again with my students. So it's kind of like create it once and you're done. And that makes it really easy. Do you use PowerPoints, Anne?
I use PowerPoints, and I also use in the Google side of it, they have Google Sheets.
Oh.
And I've made like a flashcard, like 3 sounds, like cat, so it would move up or move down, and they can sound it out. And they can tell me, is that a word? I think Paul helped me out. He's one of our members.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. I can't believe we've never talked about this before.
Yeah.
Sheets?
Yeah. And you're able to make little flashcards. And so I've gone through words their way, and with the at words or the et words, or and just made the CVC words with little flashcards for one of my really young students. So
that's cool.
He's just learning to read, and that's what we use.
Awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out and see what I can get going on there. So do you use that with PowerPoint, or it's just its own tool in and of itself?
It's on the Google Doc side.
Okay, on the Google Docs, I got it.
So, they have the forms, and they have the sheets, and they have their own version of PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm. So guys, I'm like taking notes on this too, because I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously? Like I always learn stuff on this stuff as well. That's really cool. So I'm going to definitely check that out. Now, another tool that a lot of reading tutors would like is Wizimo, because the kids can move the letters and the sounds, and they can make words, and they can do a lot of the things that we used to do as reading teachers with like magnetic trays. And we would have the letters where the kids could move them around. Wizimo is a tool that they can just do it online. And it's absolutely a cool tool. Now, it is a paid tool, just so you guys know, but it's not an expensive tool. I think it's like $40 for the year or something like that. So it's really, really awesome. And then OneNote. Dana mentioned OneNote. I could not live without my OneNote. Do you use OneNote at all?
I know you did a video on it, but I need the technical, how to make the little colored folders for each student and really get in there. I don't know. I mean, I've tried. I can't get in there.
You know what? I think inside of here, I can share my screen actually, and I can show you my OneNote.
I think you've shared it before.
I only create one notebook, and then every single one of my students gets a tab. And then every day I start a new page. So then it saves underneath them. But I can actually share that right on here. So let me share that with you guys right now. So you guys are like, some of you are like, I don't know what you're talking about, Joanne. Don't worry. We got you covered. All right, we're sharing the screen. All right. And now we're looking to see if you can see the screen.
I can see it.
Yeah, great. So up here, I just create one notebook. It's just called Joanne's notebook. And then To add a tab, I just add new section group right down here. And so I add then my student's name when I get that. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. I totally did the wrong thing. I add by adding the little add button right here. And then it adds a little new section tab right here.
Oh, up top. Okay.
And I just put on in there like example, because this is just an example. I'm going to delete it later, but then this is the page that I'm just going to write on. And so all of my stuff that I say for each student, each day, I just start a new page, and I just do that by clicking add page. And then I have the date already on there, and I have the time, which is just really helpful because if I'm like, oh, well, what have I worked on in the past? I can check that out and I can see. So with my student, Yusuf, I work on both math and reading with him, but I can check here and say, okay, what have we worked on and when? And sometimes I have good titled notes and other times I don't. Who's a good one that I have some good notes for? I did one for Finley here. You can see here, like we're working on Fluency R. So I can then come right on over and be like, okay, the next passage we're going to read is Early Days in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then we record his times right there. And then I say, okay, well, I know we're still working on Mummy. And I have here that we're still working on learning the definitions of the words. And then after that, we're going to add in the questions that he creates right on in here. But it also helps because then I can also see, okay, I can see all of the books that he's read. I can even see the skills that we've taught. So here we talk about like author's purpose.
On that right side.
What's that?
How do you put the list of things to do?
I don't put a list of things to do on the right side. I just add a page for each new class I do with them.
Oh, okay.
So when we're working on a new book, that's when I'll put that there. Or if I start like a new set of fluency, like as soon as I move him up on his fluency levels, I will then create a new tab with his new fluency level. But yeah, that just gets all saved like right underneath here. And then I have all of my students. I can easily find them on the top. It's all just one notebook. Now, for some people, that might be messy. I totally get it. Like there is no one solution that's going to work for everybody. That's for sure.
Okay. I've got my box of notebooks sitting on the corner of my desk.
Yep. Everybody's got their solution, and like you just start finding like what's going to work for you. I used to have a single notebook for every single one of my students, and then I started traveling, and so I would have to carry all of their notebooks for all the students I was going to work with. I even had a nice little carrying case, but I grew out of my carrying case because when you're working with 20 students. Like your carrying case now has like 20 heavy, a couple of them is fine, but when you've got like all of them that you're bringing with you, it just begins to be too much. So if you never travel, that works great, right? Totally works. All right. So yes, you can share your screen. So 3D math tutoring, she liked that we could share our screen. Yeah, it's really awesome. That's what I like about, I have to say I like about YouTube Live and doing these kinds of videos because you can share the screen. Facebook doesn't allow you to do that.
Right.
On a Facebook Live, you have to purchase extensions that allow you to do that. And I just don't like that. I love that this uses the old Google Hangout, tool that they created in the beginning, and they utilize it for this. And that made it really easy for me to learn how to just do these live calls because I was like, oh, well, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. That's awesome. All right. So a lot of us do like that, the whole Zoom method and everything that they have. I have here, what are some, do you use a headset at all?
Yeah, my headset is pink and I just use it when I'm with my kids so I can hear more. When I'm doing something like this or on a conference call or something, I just use my buds. Yep. That way I can move around and.
Yep. I started noticing, and I don't know if my sound is better today, but because my sound was coming from my computer for these live calls, I usually have my headset on and it wasn't like coming through very good. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to see how just the sound, how the sound is on my, just using my computer versus having my headset. Because that's one of the things that a lot of people think they need to have a headset. And sometimes their computer actually sounds better than when they start plugging in headsets.
Yeah, it might. I've never tried it without. I just think because of my kids running up and down the hallway, it just.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got a house full of, I got 3 teenage girls. Okay. So like the laughter that they just break out into like randomly, which is fabulous because I love that I have happy children. Okay. Like I am not upset that I have happy children, but they're having so much fun with life that it is a little noisy. Like when I put on my headset, it takes out all of that noise. I have the Bose headset, so I absolutely love that. I don't have any kids in my house right now because I started there at school. I don't have to wear my headset right now, but I absolutely love using my Bose headset because they also are comfortable. So I found that when I was wearing the earbuds, by the end of a day, like, so if you're working with 4 or 5 students, like back to back to back for like 4 or 5 hours, I was getting a headache. Like my ears hurt and I felt like I was getting a headache. And so by moving over to just a more, I guess, what's that word? Ergonomic. Okay, what's the word? We have some math people. What's the word I'm trying to say? I know somebody in there knows what the word is I'm trying to say. That it's really, really, it's got to be better for you at the end of the day. Anybody? Oh, we're talking about bit paper still. Bit paper is really awesome. I do really like bit paper. I love when I do have some of my older students ergonomically. Okay, I was kind of saying that correct. Thank you, Dana. I'm like, but I don't know if that's like ergonomically. I don't know. Just something doesn't feel right about that darn word. I don't know. But you guys are ergonomic. I don't know. You guys got what I'm saying. But I do like the bit paper because the bit paper, it allows them to just like log in and then they can be on the same exact page as you. I think that's really, really cool. I've tried other tools and the kids can't always find where you're at on the screen. I have not experienced that with bit paper. So I do absolutely love that. So cool stuff. I have lots of great stuff to say about bit paper. So if you are a math tutor or you are looking for a tool where you can like set up your materials ahead of time, it allows you to do that too. So those people who are like, well, I really like to set up all of my tools and my resources so that I can go from page to page. It's all right there and it's very seamless. That's another great tool. I teach more on the fly. I know that, like, I know exactly what my student needs when they need it, and I just pull up that tool. So, it's different teaching styles and you just got to find what's going to be that teaching style that's going to work for you with your business for sure. All right. So I am so glad that you guys are joining. I'm coming up with something new. Now, this might be really dorky. I don't know. So you guys have to tell me if this is really dorky. But are you guys excited about these tools? Are you excited about online tutoring? If you are, put toot toot inside of the response because we're tutors, right? Toot toot for tutors. And you're following me there, right, Anne? Yeah. I love it. We are multitaskers. We got lots of things that are usually going on. All right, computers. So let's talk about computers because honestly, I'm going to say all computers work. Okay, I haven't a computer that doesn't work for online tutoring. And if you bought a computer, thank you, Rachel, and thank you, Jean. Woo! There are lots of different computers out there. They will all work, okay? Think about like using the computer you have now and then dreaming about how you're going to upgrade as you get more students. Like I would never suggest the computer I have today as the #1 computer that only works and everybody has to have it, okay? Not going to go there because that would be ridiculous. But have you fallen in love with a certain kind of computer, Anne?
Not yet.
Okay.
I got a Dell right now.
Okay, you got a Dell, and does it work?
It works fine right now. It's a little slow. I mean, the little chipmunks are running on the wheel, but I just gonna update sooner than later, hopefully. Yeah. So yeah, someday.
Yeah. That's all you gotta do, right? Like put it on a someday list. And the cool thing is we get to then deduct that from our taxes because it's a business expense. You cannot run your business without a computer. So that's a cool thing. I have the Surface Pro 4. Absolutely love it. In fact, I love it so much I have 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
I'm using it right now. I had my old one. I had the Surface Pro 3. The problem I was running into because of running our community with the online tutors is that I was doing so much video work that I was having a hard time actually running my tutoring business because I would constantly be downloading videos and it would be uploading, downloading. It would be taking up memory on my computer. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use my old computer for all of my uploading and downloading. For those of you that don't know, we have 16 live calls every single month and we record every single one of them. So every single one, and then I'm making the videos for YouTube. So lots of video work is going on. And so having the other computer actually helps me. Now, what I've realized since I've moved over to having 2 computers is that when I'm working with a student now, I can be searching something over here on my computer, and then I can bring it into our session over here. Like I don't have to waste any of our time because I do teach on the fly, like what the student needs. Yeah. I could be like looking something up over here where I know what it is, or I'm like, okay, will this video work? And I'll just like look at it real quick. Yep, that's the one I want. And then I put the link right on into my computer. And I find that is helpful.
Yeah.
Don't ever get rid of your old computer if you decide to upgrade. Because like having that second computer is absolutely awesome. There's going to be a Surface Pro 6, Dana?
I heard that. She mentioned it. Next year.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to start saving now. That's awesome. Now, 3D math tutoring, she also mentioned that there are tutors that, instead of having the Surface Pro, because one of the things I can do with the Surface Pro is I can write on the screen using this right here. And so that's really, really helpful because all I have to do is just write. Right? It's just there. Like everything I do, I just write on it. Now, other people, they like to have the Wacom or the Huion tablet because then they are able to, kind of write in a much more natural. Yep, you've got. Which one do you have?
I've got the Wacom.
The Wacom, excellent. How does it work for your reading tutoring?
I tried it. I'm much more better with the mouse, not the mouse, but the pad.
Okay.
I can move my finger around. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten used to this yet.
Okay.
So
it does take practice.
Yes, it does take practice.
Yeah, because it's not right on the screen.
No.
Got it.
I mean, you're right. It's got the little pen and it's got little dots on there to guide you. But you're not really sure where on the screen it's projecting.
Got it.
Until you start practicing. So,
So if you're using it a lot, then you would become very familiar with it.
Yeah.
If you have another system that works, like I used to write all the time with just using my mouse.
Yeah.
And you can even, I don't know, like you can just write with your finger and that kind of stuff too. I mean, it's but it doesn't come out as precise.
Right.
It's a little shaky looking, but again, you know what? This kind of a computer like that I'm talking about here with the Surface Pro it's really like I didn't start off with this. Like I started off with just my computer that I had. I don't even remember what kind it was. And then I upgraded to a Mac, the iMac, because I wanted something that would be able to travel easily, that I'd be able to move from downstairs to upstairs, if I was traveling on the road, something that was going to be really, really light. And I loved it. It was fantastic. And then I was in the airport one day and I saw a commercial for the Surface Pro. And I was like, I like the way that looks and feels, like the way that they're showing me how that's going to work. That's really cool. And I talked to my husband. He's like, Joanne, I mentioned that to you before you even got your Mac. I'm like, you did? I didn't hear you, I don't think. Oh, there are some people, Rachel, that still use a small document camera. Yes, I don't for mine because I don't do math, but I know Atul Rana uses a document camera. He does a lot with those with different kinds of sticks. He teaches dyscalculia, so he's able to show his students exactly what to do with those using his document camera. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Yep, the IPEVO. Lots of people have, I've heard lots of people saying good things about the IPEVO inside of it. Yeah, it's great for the manipulative kind of work that people do. So yeah. Awesome. All right. Now all right, we've covered all of like the basic system questions. Do you have any favorite subscriptions that you use for your tutoring business?
I use the ResKids.
Yes.
For reading.
Yeah.
And then I just found education.com, and they have a free version, but it doesn't offer enough.
Okay.
Because I have a student that their family wants homework. So it makes it easy to glide right into the Google Classroom. Yeah. So I can just move it as a PDF right into his classroom, and then he's all set to do his homework. Cool. But the ResKids, it gives the what do you call it? Encouraging them to learn with the feedback and the rewards and things that they can earn as they're reading.
It's very much set up like a video game system.
Yeah.
You know, like, because they can move up the levels, they can earn points to buy things for their, they have an avatar that they can buy points for.
Yes,
and
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they have their little rocket that they can buy stuff for, and they can decorate it and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty cool tool to be able to use. I absolutely love that too. And some of my other favorite like websites that I have subscriptions to are like Flowcabulary. Love Flowcabulary. And then like for the business side of things, I'm a huge fan of Wix for my website. Did you go with Wix for your website?
I started with Webs, WEBS. It's not as well known, but then I changed over to WordPress.
Oh, okay.
So I've got WordPress now, and it seems to be it's a lot more SEO and going out there. I've got a lot more traffic.
Good.
So yeah.
Well, fantastic. When what we have is working is great. WordPress for a lot of people breaks down for people. So it is absolutely, I've broken my WordPress twice, and it like gave me the white screen of death. And so, I struggle with like telling people, go with WordPress just because of that. But you've been having success. That's good.
Yeah.
No white screen of death for you.
Knock on wood.
It's so easy to break. Like somebody like a really great like extension, and you're like, oh, let me add that plugin in, and then all of a sudden you're like, dang it didn't play nice with my stuff. Or like you do like a new upgrade, and like one of your plugins will cause a problem. So crazy. So Ricky's asking the question because there is a ResKids Plus or ResKids alone. She wants to know like which one is going to be better. Do you have?
I have both the ResKids and the Reading A to Z. So when they first came out with the Res Plus, that's what it was. It was the ResKids and the Reading A to Z put together. So the cost is just about the same. It's just I purchased one part of the year, and then I purchased the other ones like 6 months later. So I don't have a total, like I think it's $200 for the Plus to go out all at once. So I purchase one, renew one, and then I renew one a few months down the road. So it's like a payment almost thing. But
yeah, I looked at the cost a couple days ago because I did a video on it, and it's only $170 right now to get both.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, I had somebody who told me, like, if you go and you find that same price, you can actually go to them if you're paying more money than that, and they will refund you money.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they did that for me because I said, hey, I see that you have this deal going on. I've been a customer since 2010.
Yeah.
Is there a way that like I can take advantage of this? Because I have purchased like this individually, this individually, this individually, and I just want this as a package. Is there a way that I can do that moving forward? And they said yes.
And you have the younger kids too, the phonics one.
I do. So I do utilize the Headsprout
Yes.
as well, because I really like with some of my dyslexic students, even who are a little bit older, they have just changed it so that it's not as kiddie. That a little bit. It's appropriate for some older kids as well. I even have an 8th grader that is using it right now, and he laughs all the time and has so much fun. Like he has a smile the whole time that we're in it. I don't use it for my whole session. I just have it as part of our session. My ultimate goal is to get the parents to do it with them at home and not for me to do it, but it doesn't always work out that way. So then I work on it with them if their parents aren't working with it. With them at home with it. So, but it is it's really great for those kids that have if you've got kids that have a hard time from moving things from their short-term memory to the long-term memory.
Yes.
Those kids that have that deficit to be able to do that, this is the program for them.
Oh, okay.
Like really helps them to be able to do that, because it takes it. I had one little girl, she went through like 30 of the lessons and then bam, everything like snapped. And I didn't need to use it anymore because I was like, all right, she's got it. Like we can actually now start moving her up all of the levels inside of the books. And it was like that one little like miracle moment happened for her where everything just clicked. And she actually had epileptic seizures ever since she was 6 months old. So every time she had a seizure, it reset her brain. So imagine now like learning the alphabet, like learning to walk. Like she would know how to walk one day and then the next day not know how to walk because she had a seizure. It was that bad. And so she would learn a letter one day and then she wouldn't know it the next day because she had a seizure, because her brain reset. And once the seizure started not being as big of a deal, mom knew, like, even though she was in 1st grade, she's like, I know that I need to get her some one-on-one help because she's missed some stuff because of this seizures that she was having. And during our assessment, she had a seizure. She had one of those grand mal seizures where it just like, she was just staring at the screen. And I looked at her mom and I said, did she have a seizure? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, great. Like, I have no idea if I'm gonna be able to help this kid, right? But I just like did the stuff that I teach in the reading interventionist program. And then I added Headsprout into the mix with her. And it was phenomenal. It was exactly what she needed. So that's a beautiful.
Those lower level on ResKids, the reading A to Z, like the AA levels, the very first books, it's I see and then the picture. So I see and then another picture. So they're reading this I see over and over and over again. So I don't know whether to switch over to Headsprout now.
Yeah, it's tough because it is a little bit pricier. It is like, I think it's like $200 just for that.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, those are the kinds of decisions, you guys, when you are thinking about tools and what tool do I need now, you got to think about, do I have enough students? Will this affect enough of my students to help get the results that I want to be able to get them? And, you know, do I need it right now? Or is it something I could save the money for and add into the mix? Right? Because, you know, we're mentioning a ton of tools today, and there's absolutely no way that everybody could afford every single tool that we're going to mention today that you could get for your business. Now, some of the tools we're mentioning are free.
Yeah, there's quite a few that are free. I mean, Canva for your social media. They do have a paid version, but I always do the 3rd day free, and then I turn it off, and a little bit later, I turn it back on. I lose all the settings and stuff, but that's okay. But you know, you get all your pictures and for the social media postings and your blog posts and
absolutely. And then, you know, the cool thing is too, like, I mean, for any company like that, there's going to be enough people who are going to find so much value that they just move to the paid subscription.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's really, really cool. Now for email, what email system do you use?
I use Gmail. Or, for my marketing,
Yeah.
I use MailerLite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that one. Was it easy to learn?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty easy. It's just drag and drop.
Okay.
And they've really started to update it recently to really make it look nice, just like everybody else out there.
Okay.
So,
Now,
yeah.
is it free or paid?
It's free up to 1,000.
Oh my gosh, that's totally doable for lots of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not gonna have 1,000 subscribers anytime soon, people. So so yeah, that's fantastic, because we're going after like a specific niche. We're not trying to like market to everybody, because there's no sense in doing that. So yeah, so that would be a great tool. So MailerLite is the name of that one. Check it out, you guys. See if that would work for you. I used Aweber in the beginning because I knew how to use it. And it was kind of like drag and drop simple to be able to use for me. So I liked that tool, but it was like $20 a month in the beginning. And then as I got more subscribers, it continued to increase in price to when I got rid of it, finally, it was at $40, $40 a month for me to have it. And you know, you got to kind of like weigh it out, but it definitely worked for the things that I needed it to do.
When you're beginning, you said Wix, and now they have the email. Yeah. I know a couple people have used it that goes right along with it. So
yep.
I don't know if the price is different. I never used Wix, but
well, it comes free with, if you do the upgrade so that you can get your own URL bar.
Yeah.
With your name, it comes with that package.
Oh.
So it's already part of what you have. You don't have to purchase anything in addition to that. You could just use that.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Right? Oh, well, that was
I didn't go all out with re-updating my website recently. I may have just went there.
Yeah, so it is nice that they have that built on in there. You know, good question. I am going to put a video that I did. So Jean asked, what is your experience with Wix email? I'm not using the Wix email right now because I have my own email system with through Kajabi. So, and I'm not suggesting anybody use Kajabi for email system.
Expensive.
But the where was I going? I did a video with Ashley DiMercurio, and I will put a link after the show of all the tools that we have mentioned. Every Tuesday, I do a call where I feature just one tool and how to use it. And so this past week, I did one on ResKids and how to use that. What I'll do is all of the tools that I've created videos for in the past, I will put a link so that you can just click on that and see how to use that and learn more about each of those tools that we've talked about. All right, so running your business. What are some tools that you use for running your business?
For financial running, I use PayPal, and I started with Excel to keep track of everything, but then I went to QuickBooks, because QuickBooks tracks the mileage as well. If you turn the little switch on, it'll track your mileage, because I still see 2 students at the library, so it'll track my mileage to the library and back. There's a way of going personal or business, like on your phone. I'll sit there with my list of, is this income or was it just spur of the moment spending? So it's personal or business. So you can, and there's a way of figuring out if it's for advertising or if it's like the PayPal fee, or just little tricks that they have built in there. It's so easy.
It really is. So yeah, and I started out exactly like you. I just started out with that Excel spreadsheet, moved up to QuickBooks. I actually had moved to TaxBot, which was costing me about $100 and something a year to have it, but it was saving me money because I wasn't forgetting about things. And then my husband begged me to go to QuickBooks because we got a free year to do the QuickBooks through our TurboTax. And so I moved to the QuickBooks, and now like I have moved to it taking me like 30 minutes to figure out like my monthly costs, finances, and all that too. It only taking like 5 minutes or less.
Yeah, yeah. I just have to figure out a way of putting my utilities and my phone and everything else. I still use the Excel spreadsheet for my monthly, like, home, my office home wall thing, my cell phone and my gas mileage, gas spending and things like that. So
yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we're in for another toot toot. So if you guys are with us still, you're still watching, you're still listening, I want to hear a toot toot from you because this is awesome stuff, you guys. Toot toot for tutors. Oh yeah. Oh, that used to be my favorite thing. Oh my gosh. When I was a kid, we're so adding that with a toot toot. I was like one of those like annoying kids sitting in the back seat of my parents' car who always did this. I wanted to hear that trucker like totally like toot. So awesome. We got 3D Math toot toot, Dana toot toot, Ricky Lane toot toot, Jean Harville toot toot. You guys are awesome. Toot toot for tutors. That's right. Because we are awesome. I love it. Yeah. So so you use PayPal. Have you ever used any of the other ones like Stripe or Square or any of them?
I signed up for Stripe because I did the 30-day plus for the school books, but I got so confused on the financial stuff of it that I said, no, I'm going back to where I used to go. So
yeah. And I love being able to set up the automatic payment. Like that is like when I discovered automatic payment, it made my life from a living nightmare with my business to like that hallelujah moment. And I'm going to sing it, you guys. I'm going to sing it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I get paid every week without sending invoices. Oh my gosh, sending out invoices is like my biggest nightmare. So I would send out the invoice and I have to send out the invoice again and I have to send out the invoice again and again. Some people paid it on time. Some people didn't. Some people were really great. Somebody always messed up somewhere along the line and it caused me a nightmare not being able to pay my bills on time.
Yep.
So now I have not. Are you on automatic payment?
That's my next step.
Next step. All right, great. Well, now that you have more students, you're kind of probably seeing like when you don't have as many students, you don't have to get them set up on the automatic. But like,
now I'm putting little check marks on my calendar.
Yeah.
Sent, paid, check.
Yep.
Just so I can keep track.
Yeah, exactly. It does become a little bit of a hassle and a little bit of a nightmare to be able to do that and to automate it. The fact that it is free. Like you don't have to pay anything to automate it at all. You send your clients a link, they click it, they fill out their information. Boom. You just saved yourselves how much time from keeping track of every single payment that goes through.
Do they get a receipt?
That's a good question.
Because I know now with the invoice, they get a receipt. So
yeah. Well, I get a receipt whenever I pay for anything on PayPal. I get a receipt right through PayPal.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
maybe I don't know for the automated. I don't know.
It's automated, and I'm not had anybody like ask me to do it any differently. So
okay.
It's all good. Yeah, Ricky Lane says I fully agree with automatic payment. I hate bugging people to pay. I don't think anybody like enjoys. I don't think anybody like starts their online tutoring business is like I would really like to bug people every single week to pay me, and get them to pay beforehand too. Like pay them like they pay the month before. For the next full month's tutoring services, and you don't have to worry about them not getting paid on time. It's really beautiful, which is really, really awesome. And you can send out invoices weekly or monthly, as 3D Math Tutoring is mentioning. For those of us that haven't transitioned to automatic payment, yes, you can send individual right through PayPal as well. But if you're just getting started, please take my advice and move to automated like right off the bat. You won't have to have any conversations. You're not going to have a battle with your clients. If you think you're going to have a battle, you're not. Trust me. I've never had a battle with any of my clients when I say this is how I do business. When you set up, the time that you're going to have a problem is if you want to start moving people to automatic. That's when they're going to have a problem. And that's the problem that I faced in the beginning that I no longer ever face today. So if you try to move them over once you have them, expect some kickback.
Mm.
If you are just getting started that way, and that's not how you've always done business, expect no kickback, which is a beautiful thing. How do you keep track of your taxes?
I have a gal down the street around the corner that helps me during the year after the annual tax time.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Perfect.
So,
And that works. That absolutely works. We did that our first year because we really wanted to get the advice of a professional with the business side of things. We wanted to make sure we were doing things right. And then my husband's just really good with taxes. So now he just does it all through TurboTax.
Mm.
If you are in the US, I know they don't have that in every country, but if you're in the US, it's definitely something to take a look at. If it's your first year in business, definitely hire some in that first year because you want to make sure that you are taking into account everything. Like you're going to be able to write off a percentage of your house, your cell phone. There's so many things that you're not going to know that you can write off. And that's going to really be helpful for you. Another great tool for your business. I don't know about you. I couldn't live without my cell phone.
Oh yeah.